Hey guys, how's it going? I got a new build for the fossil deck. Not too much crazy stuff came out for it. I just like experimented a little bit with a little bit of like new ratios and added in like a new card or two. This deck's always like a work in progress, but right now it's at the best it's been, minus Block Dragon, but it's at the best it's been. So to get it started, we've got two Weathering Soldiers. I really like this guy, but he's just like so bad. Like he's just like you have to send him to grave by some weird effect, like Foolish Burial, Miracle Rupture, something like that. He can't be sent as cost. So there's no like discard like for cost effects, triggers effect. It's so strange that they built the deck around him, and like he's the main searcher, and he's like you have to search a card to send him to search for other stuff. Like it's so weird the way they like made it based around him. But he is your main guy to search Fossil Fusion and whatnot. So we still have to play him for that reason for now at least. We play two Rock Band Xeno Guitar. This guy lets us combo, and when it's banished, you can send this to grave and search for your Fossil Fusion, your Time Stream, whatever. So this guy helps us like get to it. For these two, I really don't like playing two of them, but like drawing, like if I played just one and like if I drew it and like Foolish Burial or something like that, it's just not worth it. The other effect of this guy lets us set up for Adamancipators, which is cool. Like I don't really use it that often, but it can come up here and there. It's mainly the banish effect that you really want to use. Next we have two Gigantes. It's a free special summon basically. You can trigger Rock Band or other. I mean, there's not really much else to trigger, but that's the main thing you can trigger. And or you can just get like a free level 4, like just another monster. So you can go to Gallant Granite or just link it away, whatever. We play two Guardians because since we play the Adamancipators, this is a nice guy to get off the summon, especially if he's not like necessary to use right away. You can have him as like a negate if they have like a Nibiru or something, or Ash or Effect Failure, whatever. He's a good little like protection. I play one Supplier. If he gets special summoned, you can search for this guy so you have an extra card in hand. And he, if a rock monster leaves the field, then you can special summon him. So he's a free summon, and he gives you a card. He's really cool. He literally supplies you. I wonder why they call him that. Century Soldier of Stone. This guy's like the third option. So if you have like your first option for Foolish Burial, depending on your hand, it's Weathering Soldier. Second is usually Xenoband Guitar, and this is like third. But like this guy's like really cool, especially with like with the Geonator Transverser, because you summon like you normal summon this, you special summon like Researcher, use Researcher's effect, link this in Researcher, and you have Transverser, and that's the only monster you have. She's a rock, so you can summon this and then switch whatever they have in the zones. Especially when they have something like a Dragoon, it's like really easy to go for game with such a simple like play like that. So he's just been really cool for stuff like that. Next we have three Adamancipator Analyzer. Because we're going second, our opponent's gonna have more monsters in the field than we are typically. So we can just special summon this for free, bait out a negate, or just special summon it and try to get a monster and get things rolling. Two Researcher. This is what you're searching off of Gallant Granite. And it's also what's gonna be it's a free summon if you control a rock, and you get to summon hopefully a monster you reveal off the top of your deck, which is like like really good because everything wants to get summoned, everything wants to start blink climbing and whatnot. I play everything else is at like 2 or 3 depending on its importance. I think Doki Doki's really important. I think it's a strong summon. I don't like seeing more than one of it, but hey man, it happens. You also discard any level 4, you can get to Analyzer. Yeah, Analyzer, and that's just like really strong. You set up the grave. You can actually discard Sentry and summon Sentry, and then summon Sentry from the graveyard, so you have 3 monsters off of that. Who knows where it's going to take you. 2 Nemesis Keystone. I still really like Keystone, but I feel like he's just not as useful as he used to be. But him being able to recycle banish stuff, especially our Fossil Fusion monsters, is really cool. Moving on, that's enough of our monsters. Moving on to our spells. We play 3 Fossil Fusion. It's our main fusion card. We fuse from our graveyard, from our opponent's graveyard. You can get rid of problem cards. You can get rid of like parts of the Destiny Hero package. You can get rid of the Destiny Hero main man himself. You can get rid of like Dragoon if they have some way of bringing it back. Just like big stuff like that, you just get rid of so you don't have to worry about it. It's really cool. It's like a call by the grave while in a polymerization. Moving on, we have time stream. So if our opponent has just little monsters, we can time stream our way up into the bigger monsters. This card isn't once per turn, so you can do it like twice. You can go from the 4 into the 6, the 6 into the 8. And it also there's a second effect in the graveyard. You can't use it to turn it into the graveyard, but you can use it to, you can banish it and any Fossil Fusion monster to special summon another Fossil Fusion monster from your graveyard. So if they out your big guy, you can bring it right back. And then, you know, hopefully swing for game or something like that, or do a lot of damage with it, as they typically do. Next we have 3 Miracle Ruptures. It's just basically Foolish Burial for level 4 lower rocks. And then if you have a Fossil Fusion in your graveyard, then you can additionally draw a card. So it's like a free like little plus. And you're usually sending Weathering Soldiers, so you get a card. You get like 2 cards out of that 1 card. It's really cool. But every time I use it and get the draw, I draw another Miracle Rupture. What's the point? Just take it out. Don't take it out. I played 3 Lightning Storms because we're going second deck, and back row could really hurt, especially if they like call by the grave on like Weathering Soldiers, something like that. Things like that like really hurt. So we gotta get rid of our back row. Sometimes even get rid of the monsters, but it's mainly the back row. Back row hurts me in like every deck I play. I play a couple 1-ofs. I play the Harpy's Feather Duster, also for back row. I pay 1 Foolish Burial to send whatever I need. It's basically like an extra like way to get to Fossil Fusion by sending a Weathering Soldier. And I play 1 card Destruction. Because we're going second deck, whatever they have in hand is probably not important. And if I have a handful of rock monsters, I can send them to grave and use them for like Fossil Fusion fodder. Alliteration. And then or this also triggers Weathering Soldier. Stuff like that. It just, and maybe I can see like maybe I can draw into like a Lightning Storm or something to help me out. Next we play. RP's Feathers still there. Next we play 2 Magnet Reverse. I really like this card a lot, but I'm thinking about cutting it, like or taking it out and testing out dangers with this deck. I think that would be a really cool like way to get me into like a lot of different level variants. But that's for a video for another time. Magnet Reverse is a really cool card. You can banish a Fossil Fusion monster to activate its effect, and you can bring it back with Magnet Reverse. It summons any rocker machine that cannot be normal summoned or set. So all of our fusion monsters we can just bring right back because they have no stipulation once they're summoned the first time. It's a really cool card. And lastly, for our main deck, we play 3 Ultimate Rare Impermanence. Nice. Just because, you know, going second deck, this is a little something we like to see. I try not to play too many hand traps and stuff like that because we do play the Adamancipators and we don't want them to like whiff. So now we're gonna move on to our extra deck. We play for the level 4s. We play 1 Skullgar and we play 1 Skullbone. So specifically, Skullbone is like a level 4 lower and a rock monster from either graveyard, so he's fine. I don't remember what he does on the field. He's not that important at all. He's like really bad. He's like 2000. He's like maybe he does piercing. I don't know. He's like terrible. But his banish effect from the graveyard, because they all have banish effects, the 6s and lowers. He searches for time stream, and this one's 25. I think it does like piercing or something like that. Or I think they all do piercing. I don't know. These guys aren't that important. They're not staying on the field. If these guys are on the field still, you're doing something wrong. But you banish him to search for Fossil Fusion. So you can just go into him to extend into plays. You can use these 2 for like Gallant Granite, or like this in a level 4 for the Gallant Granite, I mean. And then get the search, get the banish search. It's really cool. We play 1 Skull Knight. I can't wait for the other level 6 to come out. He'd be right here next to it. But when you banish him, you pop a monster in the field, and the other one pops a spell or trap on the field. This is just really good. I don't want to play 2 of him. It just seems like too much, and like having him would be like options. So like if they have a back row, I'm scared if I can get rid of it. Whereas like if they don't have a monster, I've already gotten rid of everything. He just serves no purpose. But he's 24, which is weird because he's smaller than the level 4. But he when he attacks, it shows a monster you can attack again on a monster. He's BLS, but 24 and level 6. Moving on to the big boys, the boss monsters. We have 1 Skull King, and we have 1 Skull Gios. I don't see any reason to run more than one, because typically once these guys come out, it's game. Like if I enter the battle phase and things go well, that's it. Or if things don't go well, I'm just gonna lose. Like there's no like backup play or whatever. Like I mean there's time stream, but like let's be honest, if they've got rid of these two, then you're not setting up any negates or anything, so they're gonna be able to get back over it. But Yugioh, he does piercing, he does double battle damage, and when he attacks, or I think when he is attacked as well, he can switch the attack and defense of the opponent's monster. So if you attack a monster with 0 attack but 3000 defense, and it's in defense mode, you can switch it so it's attacking into 0 defense. And then he does the double piercing, so he's 35, so it'll be 7000 damage. Which is really good to get over like big monsters. It doesn't really work against link monsters, but hey man, whatever. Like he's just 35, like he's mad big. No. And then this guy, he's only 28, but he can attack twice on anything. And he's got sort of a disruption. During your opponent's turn, you can target a monster in their graveyard, and then on resolution you discard a card and special summon it. So he can trigger Weathering Soldier during your opponent's turn, which is nice if you draw him. But you can summon things like Dragoon or Mechaba or just nonsense like that just have like negates when they're on the field. So you can you get rid of their negates. And if you didn't banish it off of Fossil Fusion, then you just summon it right back. And then now they have to deal with this and the negate, which is really cool. He also works really well with the Nemesis, because the Nemesis comes back at your end phase, so you have like something to discard for him, or like the extra card off of Supplier and stuff like that. Moving on to our Synchros, we have one Naturia Beast, we have one Adamancipator Researcher, Risen Raptite, and we have one Baron de Fleur. This is the main thing that I put in the deck that made a lot of changes, because I realized like everything's 4 or 2, and like 4 and 2 is basically like 8. 4 and 2 is basically a Baron de Fleur. So I was like, oh, alright, that'd be pretty cool if I try them out, you know. I get to pop a card, I get to have a negate, so if they have like some nonsense like Stormy Mirror Force or something stupid, then I just have something to go into. If you summon this and you get a Researcher level 4, is level 6, you can go straight into Baron. It's also another Synchro for Cross Sheep, so you can boost everything by 700. But yeah, he's just really good, and like he's also like a going first option. You know, if you lose a die roll, they happen to be a going second deck. You know, you go into him, try and set up the best possible board you can for going first. That's why Naturia Beast is in here as well. He's mainly just a going first option, in case we lose the die roll. He's not too difficult to make, so everything's in Earth, some things are tuners, and you just work out the math from there. Raptite is just it's like an extender. You know, you go into the Adamancipators, you go into this guy, get another, try and get another summon. And that's mainly it for these guys. The second effect of Raptite like almost never comes up. Like I've never actually used it. For XYZs, we have one Gallant Granite, which is really good. Any 2 level 4s, and then we just detach, search for a rock monster. Typically, we want to search for our Researcher or a Gallant Granite. You know, whatever you know, special summons we need to extend. For our Link monsters. For Link 1s, I play 2 Link 1s. I play Link Revo just in case we go first, and Relinquished Anima for going second, because only 1 zone is safe on our opponent's board. Relinquished Anima takes care of 2 zones. Technically, like 4 if you want to, like, you know, if they have like a Saryuji or Appaloosa that points forward or whatever. That doesn't matter. It's mainly just our Nemesis Keystone to get in the grave, start doing other nonsense with it. For our Link 2s, we play Cross Sheep and Geonator Transverser. Cross Sheep's really good for like you summon a Synchro under it, you don't use this effect, and you summon the fusion under it, and like once you summon the big fusion level 8, then like it triggers both effects because it's whatever it points to. So you summon if you summon a fusion under it when it already has a Synchro, then you can summon a level 4 lower from the grave, and then everything gains 700 attack. So it can really help you push your game and get over some like difficult monsters to beat over. Because then Yugioh becomes 42, and once he's 42, if he attacks any monster that has a 0 stat, it's game. Geonator Transverser can help us take problem cards like Dragoon or something. Well, I mean Dragoon's not really too big of a problem in this deck, but you can just take it just to have it. It's really cool, and it's also a rock monster, so it comes up. And we have one Link 3. I don't know why I put it so far. We have one Link 3, our Nightmare Unicorn. Just, I'm thinking about taking this out and putting in Phoenix instead. Or taking out the Link Rebo and putting in Phoenix instead. Just so we have something for back row. But Unicorn's good for now. It's not too difficult to go to a Link 3, so maybe I won't. And then we play one, but also a Dragon. Because sometimes we don't see the fusion stuff, but we see all this rock stuff to let us, like, extend and go crazy. So sometimes we just need the Bulbasaur for game, and that's all that really we need sometimes. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations, any rock monsters I missed, or any like anything good that would be good for like the Fossil Fusion deck. Any ideas or whatever? You guys have been very helpful with the Penguin deck, so hopefully we can do something with this then. Thank you guys for watching.